So welcome in, everybody. This is episode 1 of Shards of the Abyss. That's what I've decided to call this interactive D&D adventure that we're going to embark on together. As I said, last week we did session 0, where you created your character that we're going to be playing through this adventure. It's super cool. Here she is up here. If you want a better look at her, let's switch over real quick and I'll tell you a little bit about her. Wrong one. We're starting off great. All right, everyone. This is Synn. Synn is a wizard. She has a companion, which you chose to be an eagle, called Becky. Becky the Eagle is her friend on her, for the moment, lone adventures. She's a tiefling. She comes from the School of Evocation. When you all were voting, you voted really heavily to have a lot of fire-related spells. So if you want to know more about what she's outfitted with, what her spells are, what items she's carrying, you can exclamation point Synn in chat, and a link to a little image of her and her basic stats will come up. We spell her S-Y-N-N. She fancy girl. And for those of you who don't know, this is a completely unique image. We generated her using Stable Diffusion. So we used AI to bring your character to life. And we got this gorgeous beauty. Now, a few things about her. When we created her, she was level 3, sorry. I have since gone and made her level 5, but because she's a wizard, she is a little squishy. So I wanted to up her HP for you all, because she was a bit squishy. So what I've done is I've actually multi-classed her as a ranger. We will play her as a wizard, but we multi-classed her as a ranger, and that's for a number of reasons. Number 1, more HP. All right, so she's got a meaty 35 HP now. It's pretty decent. Before we were hovering on like at least 10 or less than that. Actually, might be 36. She had an awful armor class of 11. And even with mage armor, because her dex was so low, it would only have been 12. So Ranger allows us to be proficient in light armor, medium armor, and shields. And it gives you a bonus of when you are wearing armor, you get a additional +1 to your AC. So I looked at the image and I'm like, you know what? She's kind of wearing half plate. Very loosely, kind of. So she now has half plate mail and a booster AC. She now also has the ability to cast Cure Wounds on herself, which I think doing a solo campaign is a really, really valuable thing to have. So this is my first DM executive decision to level her up that way, but we're still going to play her as a wizard. Yeah? If you are wondering what her ranger environment is, it is forest. You'll see why. And that's about it. Yeah. Thank you. We had a feeling you wouldn't mind some changes if it just meant you were a bit stronger. I think that's really, really important because it'll be you and Becky. Be you and your eagle. Well, will it? Will it? Who knows? So yeah, I hope you're all content with that and we are set and good to go. So just a little bit more before we get started. That was Man's groaning in the background. He's a loud stretcher. I'll give you all just an example of how voting is going to work. Yeah? So like I said, a little multiple choice pop-up is going to happen in the corner. And you'll all be able to type a number in chat to correspond with the outcome. So this one's more of a poll, but I just want to give you an idea of what it'll look like. So for example, what's your favorite aspect of playing D&D? if it's combat type 1, if it's roleplay type 2, if it's the investigation type 3, and if it's for working in a team, playing with other people, type 4. And so this is how it'll work, and I'll keep it only up for like 30 seconds to a minute. If you participate by typing in a number, and then a roll has to happen, I will call on you to roll. So for example, we'll stop this one here, finish the poll. Combat 1, Geeth, just to show people how it works, can you type me an exclamation point D20 in chat? Please. If you would be so kind. Oh, let's get those rolls out of the way now. Fail. So that is how we roll. That is how we roll. I ask people in the chat to type exclamation point whatever diet is in chat. You won't be needing any more of those. And then we'll add the modifiers as needed over here. But that's basically... Exactly. So that's how it'll work. All right. How are we feeling? Learning more and more? Yes. So basically, the higher you roll, the better an outcome will be for you. And there are variant degrees inside. But what we all agree on is when you roll a 20, Winnie, that's something we call a critical success. If you roll a natural 20, you will get not only a good outcome, but an exceptionally good outcome. Something incredibly rare may happen. You just get incredibly lucky. You get what you want, but you get a little bit extra, right? If you roll a 1, no matter what your modifiers are on top of that, if you roll a 1, it's called a critical fail. And no matter what, not only will you not get what you want, but something bad will happen. Something actively bad will happen. So let's say you're in the middle of combat and you try to, this is really cruel, but let's say you pull your bow and you're about to shoot it off and you're trying to hit your target and you roll a natural 1 to hit. The string of your bow breaks. Fuck. What are you gonna do now? So not only do you miss the shot, something bad happens. Or you hit that arrow and it ricochets off a rock and hits, maybe it hits Becky, your bird. Depends how cruel I feel like being. But something very bad will happen. So we want to get them all out of the way at the beginning. Keep Becky safe. Becky only has a few HP. All right, Becky is your beautiful eagle. Let's just get up. Eagle stat deck. She's an armor class of 12. And I'm going to give her the max HP. She's got 6 HP. So you want to keep Becky safe. That's the new hashtag. Okay. How are you feeling? You feel good? Becky is best eagle? Well, we'll see. We'll see. Be ready to start. Now, one of the other things I'm going to say is that there are going to be, I can't fucking disable them. There are ads. All right. So we're going to have ads that run every 45 minutes. I'm so sorry about that fact. I will try my best to slow down when that is happening. Gives you incentive to maybe subscribe. But if not, don't worry. You're not going to miss any rolls or major decision making. Yeah, we may even just stop for those 2 minutes. And in general, take a quick break. Okay, so there is an ad cup coming in 20 minutes, which might break our flow. But this is fucking Twitch, and ads are a part of it, and we'll do our best. Yeah? All right. You got a good feeling? Oh, I'm a little nervy to start. I want it to be good. We're going to take this at a good pace. All right? Give me one more second. Give me one more second to just set something up. Actually, no, I'll wait. I'll set that up later. Audio levels are okay? Hey, Warden! Oh, please. Not the nuggies! Down with the nuggies. Okay. Y'all ready? Welcome in, Warden. We're about to start. Ted, turn the music just a tad. I can do that. I might turn it down actually here. Is that better? Okay. Episode 1. Shards of the Abyss. Beads of sweat roll down your brow. The muscles in your right arm strain and tighten and ache. You look down and you can see the veins of your arms bulging and pulsating to the rhythm of your rapidly beating heart. Reverberating through your skull, you hear the sound of gravel being crushed underfoot. It takes you a moment to realize that you're grinding your teeth, as if 1,000 tiny warriors armed with sandpaper have taken up residence in your skull. You feel a burning pain as your muscles start to tire and your breath becomes labored. You don't know how much longer you can hold on. You lift your gaze and you stare into the black pools that are staring daggers back at you. Geithman, would you like to give me our first roll, a D20, for an insight check, please? A 4. even with a modifier and proficiency, which is a +4, so it's an 8. You're blinking away perspiration from your eyes, and as you stare into theirs, you are just too overcome with exhaustion and pain. You can't read their face. You grit your teeth. And a low guttural growl escapes your lips. You clench your hand tighter, firming your grip. Somewhere, someone behind you yells, "Give up! No one's ever beat Bertha!" The cacophony of noises that you've been tuning out while you concentrate slowly encroach back from the edges of your senses. Drunken laughter, glasses being clinked, kegs being poured. But your eyes don't shift from your opponent. Fist grasping fist, you have found yourself in an arm wrestling match with Bertha, the half-orc barmaid, an undefeated arm wrestling champion of the inn, known as Boulder's Plate. A popular inn situated at a major crossroads for travelers venturing through the area known as West Moon Pines. If anyone would like to see what our lovely Bertha looks like, our half-orc barmaid we find ourselves in a battle of strength against, type !Bertha in chat. It'll take you to an image of what this rather nice looking, if I say so, barmaid looks like. Mans, would you like to give me a d20 for a strength check as you pull the remaining energy you have left in you to try and drive this half-orc woman's arm into the table? You can hear him in the background. So you wrench with all your might this woman twice the size of you, bulging with muscles. You, in your tiny, frail tiefling form, you're not known for battles of strength. What are you doing? Why have you engaged in an arm wrestling match? What has possessed you into thinking, but maybe emboldened for some reason? With all your might, you go to press her arm in, and she looks at you, and she laughs. She goes, "Oh, love, it's been cute watching you try." And with almost no effort, she smashes your arm into the table. You hear a little pop, and something in your shoulder just straightens a little as it falls unnaturally down onto the table. Bertha looks at you and smiles, stands, looks down at you and goes, "That was quaint. I'll take my money now." Winnie, can I please have a exclamation point D100 in chat for how many gold coins you have lost? You want to roll low. 65. You count out bashfully, a little embarrassed. You're 65 gold. Put it on the table. Slide it over. The scroll that you had found yourself in an arm wrestling match over with this barmaid. Bertha grabs, pops in her back pocket. "Better luck next time, love." And with that, she swipes the gold and goes back behind the bar. A waiter who has been observing you, grueling it out, approaches you. The waiter has with her a tray of shots. She looks down at you quite sympathetically, and she's going to offer them to you. She's going to offer you one. Time for chat to decide. What will you do? Do you decline the drinks? You want a clear head. Do you accept the shot that she offers you? You need it. It's been rough. Or do you grab the entire tray from her hand and all 6 shots on the tray, one after another, you knock back? Shots, 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 shots. Wow. She comes over without a word, has her tray in front of you and hands you a shot. And you look at her for a moment. And yoink, you grab the entire tray. And before she has a moment to react, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You down 6 shots. Just like that. Now, for people who have played D&D before, we know that you can't get drunk without consequence. Right? So, Alicia, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. See how well you can handle this sudden intake of alcohol. Can I please have a D20? We have a +2 to our Constitution saving throws. A 9. +2, 11. Had you had only 1 shot and you rolled an 11, you would be fine. But you had 6 shots. You haven't eaten anything today. You take 1 point of exhaustion. For those of you who don't know what that means, you have a total of 5 points of exhaustion. And the more points of exhaustion you take without a rest, the more difficult things become. So now when we roll, we're going to be rolling with disadvantage, which means we roll twice and we take the lower of the 2 rolls. Yeah, you ate some nut bars, you'll be fine. So we have 1 point of exhaustion. me just make sure I'm correct on that. Yep, you have disadvantage on your ability checks until we rest. Chat decides. I love it. So you feel a warmth spread over your body as you've downed these 4 shots. You feel a little loose now, though. The flush of red on your cheeks from embarrassment now turns to a deeper red as the alcohol starts to seep into your bloodstream. Should be the one eating your sploosh, not you. What? I don't Moving on. I don't know what that means. My brain goes somewhere else. Okay. So, we find ourselves in this tavern, having just embarrassed ourselves by losing a battle of strength against a barmaid. Why are we here? Why do we find ourselves at Boulder's Plate in the middle of West Moon Pines? Type 1 if you think we're here to gather information. Type 2 if you're at this inn because you're specifically trying to celebrate a victory we've just had. Step 3? It's because we're looking for work. Number 4? Doesn't matter. 6 shots in, that barmaid's looking pretty good.
I'll be right back.
I'll
be right back.
Oh, okay. Type 1, 2, 3, 4 in chat. We're looking for work. Of course. Why else would we find ourselves at this random inn? So we're looking for a job. We are, after all, professional adventurers. We're quite experienced. We have our bird companion waiting patiently outside. No animals allowed in this inn. Doesn't really make sense, as most of the clientele of this inn are adventurers. There's no local town that this inn is a part of. It's literally an inn at a crossroads. But them's the rules, and Becky does wait patiently outside. So, being an experienced adventurer, and you know that there are multiple ways to find work. From overhearing conversations, to notice boards, to probably the barmaid herself, who would know a lot of the local gossip, hearing adventurers coming and going all the time. So, how do you go about looking for this job opportunity? There we go. There we go. So how do we go about finding some information about a job? Do we sit at a random table? Strike up a conversation with some fellow adventurers? Do we talk to the barmaid? Or do we think the drunkest person in the room might be more willing to let some information slip? We have a 2-minute ad break coming up. I will reveal the answer to this poll when that ad break is over. So if you're not subscribed, you're not missing a single thing. You're back? Amazing. Thank you everybody for sticking around through that shittily timed ad break. The poll is concluded and with 4 votes. You're going to talk to the drunkest person in the room. It's amazing when even the bad rolls happen. You scan the room, and in a little booth, You see a small halfling with a giant pint. For those of you who are unaware with what race a halfling is, it's like a hobbit, so really, really small person. But this is an adult. It's an inn. It's a bar. And you see a very tipsy halfling. It's a massive pint. Just swaying backwards and forwards over their drink. A quite serious look on their face. This isn't a joyful drunk person. This is a sad drunk person. So you make your way over to their booth. You sit down across from them. They don't even look up from their drink. Almost too drunk to even notice that you're there. What do you say to greet this person? We're going to do something slightly different now. Not a vote. But Geef, type in chat. What do you say to this person as you sit down across from them? Thank you. Dungeon Master or Game Master? Ooh. Love it. Love it. So with some genuine sympathy, you lean in slightly to our halfling friend and you say, I see you looking down on your luck tonight, friend. What has got you so weary? I put tonight in the wrong space. It works out. They look up with a start. Sorry. I didn't see you there. Hi. Ooh. Hold on. They are probably the most intoxicated you've seen a person for quite somewhat a while. As they raise their face, you see that tears are in their eyes. They're puffy and swollen. They look up at you and they go, I hope they're okay. But something bad was gonna happen and I had to get out and I told the others to get out, but they all wanted to stay. I left them behind. My family, my friends. Something was going wrong in that place. I couldn't stay. Oh, the gods forgive me. Intrigued, very much so, at what this person is talking about, you inquire further. What place? Where are you from? How can I help you? All questions that you ask this drunken halfling that sits opposite you. And in a moment of sobriety, that halfling looks you dead in the eye and goes, Thornhaven, it has come under a curse. I left. I didn't want to, and I'm not going back. You can't make me go back. I won't ever go back. Thornhaven, you think to yourself. That's actually not too far from here. Less than half a day's journey. You could head out this afternoon, take a rest on the way, be there by morning. What further information do you want to extract from this halfling before you set out on your investigation of what may have befallen this town? Are you running out of patience? You want to know everything and you want to know it now. You think they'd be more valuable to you if you brought them with you? I mean, they're a little drunk, but better a companion than no companion. You are going to keep your cool about you, inquire more about the nature of this curse. You need to know what you're facing after all, and you don't want to scare them off by being brash. It's a tie! Would one of our beautiful lurkers like to break the tie? Mans has gone out to get a little bit of food. Maybe chicken nuggies. All right. You're feeling quite sympathetic tonight. You have had a few drinks yourself. And so, with care, with grace, with femininity, you reach out and you grab their hand for reassurance. And you say, "Please, my friend, I need to know more information if I am to help these people. Tell me more about this curse." They look up with sorrowful eyes and go, "It all started, but only a few days ago. A small group of people in the town, they started going mad, speaking gibberish, words that made no sense. And although strange, it didn't seem dangerous, you know? So we thought nothing of it. They went and saw the local healer. The cleric did their best to provide them with comfort, but they were all sent home. And that's when things got really bad. They started turning aggressive. Violent. They weren't themselves anymore, and then they started attacking their own people they had known since they were kids. Gnashing and biting and clawing and like animals. Everyone was saying it was too soon. It was too soon to react. It was too soon to be dramatic, as I was accused of being. But I knew it was just the start, and I had to get out. And I hope the gods can forgive me. I'm acting, please. Please. Not really. Mmm. So equipped now with the knowledge that there is a town in need, very close by, where some of its residents are slowly turning mad and then succumbing to violent urges. You feel like this is a pretty good job opportunity. You faced all kinds of monsters, a curse. Well, with your proficiency in all matters arcane, being a wizard, and your knowledge of history and nature, you might be just what this town needs. So with that, you bid your halfling friend a final parting word. You tell them, well, what do you tell them as you leave? You tell them they did the right thing for leaving. Type 1. You tell them they're a coward. Type 2. You tell them that they need to stop drinking. And type 3. Oh, let's see a saucy. That's great. As you stand, you take their half-drunk pint of beer and pull it across the table towards you. And you look down and you tell them that they need to stop drinking. It's not going to help them. It's not going to help their town. It's not going to help how they're going to feel tomorrow morning when they register what they've done. And you tell them, go to bed. Get some rest. You're no good to anybody like this. As you stand, you take the jug of beer with you. You walk over to the barmaid, hand it to her. You've given her 65 gold coins. How kind are you feeling tonight? Do you toss her 2 more gold coins to get your halfling friend a room for the night? Type 1 if you do, type 2 if you don't. Now, he's on your own. He's on his own. It's not your problem. You got the information that you needed. It's good enough for you. Instead, you just give the barmaid a cheeky wink. And she goes, "It was fun, love. When you're done adventuring, maybe we could go for round 2. Double or nothing." Now you have a very quick opportunity here. She leans in quite close. She leans in quite close as she says that to you. You have a moment to react. You see the scroll that was on the table, still in her back pocket. Are you going to try and swipe it before you leave? What do you do? Type 1. You ignore the scroll. You're lost. Fair and square. The scroll doesn't belong to you. 2. She gets close to you. You get a little bit closer to her. We want that scroll. Pride be damned. This isn't the drunk person, this is the barmaid. So we've taken the booze away from the halfling. We've gone to the bar to give it back to the barmaid. She's just giving you a cheeky see you next time, yeah? Basically. Coming a bit close. You see the scroll still sticking out of her back pocket since you did your arm wrestle. Are we gonna swipe it? What would Kitty do? Steal everything. Okay. We're going to try and swipe the scroll. Man sets fire. Could I please have a D20 for a sleight of hand check? We have a +1. You have a +1 to dexterity. As she comes in close, you come in close too. You try to slide your arm behind her and your hand into her back pocket. And as you go to reach it, she moves in a little bit further still. And instead of sliding your hand into her pocket to grab the scroll, you slide your hand onto her ample butt cheek. And you feel her stiffen up in front of you. And she goes, "That's quite bold of you, love. Maybe instead of double or nothing next time, we could make a wager of a different kind." You're bold. Most people that come into our Boulder's Plate are abrupt in a different kind of way, but I like your forwardness. I hope I see you again, love. And she pulls back and you slide your hand off her butt cheek. And you depart the tavern. Scrollless. Scrollless. That scroll is not for you. It's the way the dice fall. It's the way the dice fall. Alrighty, so you leave the racket of the tavern behind as you step outside into the beautiful night air. The sun is setting. The air is cool and crisp. I don't want it. Yes, that is a chicken nugget. Guy said, "At least you got a handful of something nice."
Yeah.
Oh, man. The sun is setting. You still have a couple of hours of daylight that you can use to make haste to this place. If you feel like you probably shouldn't rush. Sorry, no, you should rush. That you shouldn't linger too long if this place indeed is in trouble. and a few of the residents are acting strange, you should probably get there quite quickly. It is for tomorrow, but if you can make a few hours tonight, that sounds pretty good. So use what's left of the daylight until the sun is completely set. And then you decide you'll camp, and then you'll make up the remaining hours in the morning, and you'll be there mid-morning at best. You're sensible, even though you did just grab a half-orc barmaid's butt and down 6 shots and have a point of exhaustion. Oh my god, you guys, we should have been rolling with disadvantage this whole time. Bad chat for not reminding me. No, bad DM for not remembering. All future rolls, although we're pretty much going to camp. My bad. Keith, I know you're usually really on these. Let's blame the storytelling. And no, Winnie doesn't know. Winnie's learning. Winnie, you're doing a great job too. I hope you're having fun. I hope you guys can all hear my beautiful night forest noises. Okay. As you depart, you've trained Becky so well that she knows. You see her flying overhead, scouting the main road. You know where Thornhaven is. You know these areas. Not that you've been to Thornhaven before, but you're no simple adventurer. You are experienced and you study areas before you go there. You are proficient in history. You have a great understanding of nature. Your survival's okay. We have just above table, we have +6s to Arcana, History, and Religion. So she's a smart cookie. Yeah, high intelligence with our wizards. So Becky flies high above you, scouting the way. Every now and then she swoops down, lands on your shoulder, nestles into you a little bit, and takes off again to scout. So you've traveled a few hours now down a straight road, a main road, a dirt road, in the direction of Thornhaven. Now the last of the sun's rays are clinging to the edges of the sky, about to disappear for the day. And you figure now's a good time to make camp and bed down for the night. The roads of West Moon Pines, as you know, are notorious for bandit attacks at the best of times. But at night, the dangers multiply, and all sorts of monsters and beasts and baddies that make this place quite lucrative for an adventurer like you. It is why you're here, after all. But these monsters and beasts and baddies come out to play at night and come out to hunt. And you know that tonight they'll be hungry like every other night. So it's dark now and it's time to make camp. Winnie, can you please roll me a d20? We're going to do a perception check to try and scout for where to make camp for the night. What is with these rolls? Oh my goodness. So even with a +1 to perception, we now only have a 4. And it has to be with disadvantage. Yes. Winnie, can I have a second d20? It could get worse. So because we downed those 6 shots, thank you, Geeth, we need to make every roll with disadvantage. A 12. We got to take the 3. +1 is 4. All right. We failed our perception check to find a safe place to set up camp. So you see a large boulder on the side of the road? You figure That's protection enough from the chilly night. You decide to set up camp beside the boulder. Boulder's about 10 feet from the road. Nice and easy to get back onto the road in the morning. Don't have to make your way. You'll sleep on the other side of the boulder, just in case anything's making its way down that road at night. You don't want to be directly in their vision. You're not stupid. But you'll just camp by the side of the road, basically behind a boulder. You're protected from the elements. And a direct line of sight, I guess. And that's what matters, yeah? Finally, double digits. So it's been a long day. Your arm still has a dull ache to it. You did pull something. It's sore. You deserve a rest. You need to sleep off this booze. It's had more of an effect on you than you anticipated. But then, what did you anticipate after downing 6 shots? Chat decides. # chat decides. We're a wizard who's like, I'm strong, but lost an arm wrestling match. Nothing's going to come for me while I sleep. No! What? That would never happen. So you set up your space. You're about 3 or 4 hours from Thornhaven. You'll make that distance in the morning. Best replenish your energy before moving on. So, chat, how do we settle in for the night? What do we prioritize as we settle just off the side of the road where nothing at all could possibly wander by and grab us? What are we going to do as the last thing to set up a camp? If you type !Synn, you will see what's in our backpack. We only have a bedroll. No tent. I'm traumatized about tents in one of my previous campaigns. Every tent I bought got destroyed by the DM. So we do have a bedroll to sleep. We do have a tinderbox to light a fire. That's about it. We got rations. We can eat for the night. What are we gonna do? We're gonna light a campfire. Now, while the character stats have high intelligence, it is quite clear that chat do not. Because, as I mentioned with Winnie's terrible roll, you are just 10 feet from the side of the road. Sure, you're behind a boulder, but let's light a fire. Let's light a fire because we'll be perfectly safe just 10 feet from the side of a major road with a bright light glowing behind a giant boulder. Let's go. Let's light this fire. So you pull out the tinderbox from your backpack and you light yourself a quick fire. But it's warm and it's cozy. And Becky nestles in to your shoulder. You've got beautiful blue hair. She kind of plucks and pulls it a little bit, wrapping it up around her so that she's snug. She coos and stretches out her feathers a little bit, embracing the warmth in this cold night. And I don't know if eagles coo. I don't know. But a pretty little bird noise starts to lull you to sleep on your shoulder. As you too feel the weight and the heaviness in your bones from being so tired, from how you physically exerted yourself today, and the 6 shots that you downed. And very quickly, you find yourself falling asleep and getting pulled into restful slumber. Okay. Let's go back to where we were. So just to recap where we're at and why we're camping by the side of the road. We started our adventure in an inn at a major crossroads in the area known as West Moon Pines. A dense forest plagued by all manner of beasts and monsters. An adventurer's delight. Much work to be found. So we found ourselves at Boulder's Plate, this inn at the crossroads, and a battle of strength with the pretty smooth half-orc barmaid called Bertha, exclamation point Bertha, to see what she looks like. And being a wizard against a half-orc of her size, she's twice your size, she's thick. She kicked your ass in that. With a nat 1, you actually sprained your shoulder a little bit as you lost. And you had to hand over 65 gold. I never told you, but you started with 100 gold. 65 of it gone. We only got 35 gold in our back pocket. Good thing, while we were at that bar, we found some potential work. A really drunk halfling in the corner of the bar told us that he'd recently fled his town, the town of Thornhaven, a village really not very far, less than half a day's travel from the inn. And he believed there to be a curse that had befallen some of people in the town that was causing them to go mad and then violent. And so, not wanting to know what happened next, he fled. That very day, actually. And is drowning his sorrows. The sorrows of leaving all of his family and friends behind with this curse in that town. And so you extracted this information in a very sympathetic way. Told him to sober his ass up. And you left. You left and beelined it straight for Thornhaven. But as you were journeying, it fell into night. And so you thought it a good idea to pick up your travels in the morning and camp for the night. With, again, one of many low rolls today. Your perception failed you. Arguably your intelligence too. And you decided to just sleep behind a boulder on the side of the road. What could go wrong? You also decided to light a fire just off the side of the road. What could go wrong? And you and your eagle companion Becky fell into blissful sleep by the warmth of your fire. You're not sure why, but you wake with a start. It's still dark. The once roaring fire is now hot embers in front of you. Still giving off warmth, not as much light. A dull glow befalls your campsite. But you get a sense that something isn't quite right. Something startled you awake, but you can't remember if you heard a noise. Was it in your dream? Was it around you? You look over and Becky's still asleep. She hasn't heard anything. Was it all in your mind? Mans. Roll me a perception check. You're searching for sound. Unnatural sound. In this forest. You can hear birds. That's normal. It's probably 3 in the morning. Birds are just starting to waken and coo. You hear the rustling of tree leaves, gentle breeze. Man sets fire. Can I have a D20, please, for perception? To see if we can hear anything unnatural that may have woken us. Be nice. Roll good. You hear it. Far in the distance. How did that wake you from your sleep? But it's approaching. It's approaching quickly. Thudding and crashing and the crunching of leaves underfoot and the sound of small branches being broken and small trees being felled. Something is thundering in your direction. The sound grows louder and louder as it encroaches upon your camp. Becky's awake now. She takes immediately to the sky. You know she's trying to find something too. With a 15, you do sense the direction it's coming in. Northeast. Northeast of your camp, into the forest. Not the road, but deeper into the forest. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. Excuse me. There's a really bad cough at the moment. Something is thundering and crashing and making its way towards you. You don't even know if it knows that you're there. You just know it is coming in your direction. Chat, you have but moments to prepare because the speed at which this thing is coming at you, felling trees, crunching leaves, moving things in its path, is disturbingly fast. What do you do? What do you do? I'm okay, I might just have to mute myself as I cough. I'm so sorry. Ruined the moment. No more disadvantage. We did get some sleep. Not a full long rest, but we got some sleep. We're gonna shit our pants? No, type 1 if you want to draw your weapon and wait for the thing to come to you. Type 2 if you want to hide. Type 3 if you want to confront it. Shout out where you are. Order it. Demand it to reveal itself. You don't have TP. No. You can use a leaf. Shitting yourself is not an option. You are a warrior. What are you going to do? I should clip that actually. Shitting yourself is not an option. What are you going to do? That's good. Ooh. You're gonna find somewhere to hide. Geeth, can I have a D20, please? for stealth. How well can you hide yourself in this moment? Now, I need you to roll twice, please. Roll to 5. Oh, shit. You're rolling with disadvantage because we are wearing armor, which we're not, like, fully proficient in. We're wearing medium armor. Can I have another d20? Because, you know, it could get worse. It could get worse. It didn't get worse. Oh, shit. You panic. You panic for a moment. This thing is bounding faster and faster and faster towards you, almost enraged, and you just go, oh shit, and you dive behind. You don't think to dive behind the giant boulder that you're sleeping in front of to hide your entire self, and your brain just goes, hide! You're a wizard. You're not a rogue. You woke from your sleep and you're completely disorientated, so you dive behind a tree, but the tree is half your size and it doesn't shield you fully. And so, half obscured by this tree, you hunker down behind it. Becky calls in the air. And you know that call to be a signal that something is about to emerge. And in front of you, peeking behind this tree that is barely covering you, this giant humanoid beast emerges from the wood. Yellow skin, covered in wart-like bumps upon its yellowed flesh. It has blackish blue, dirty, greasy, long hair that kind of falls, almost like it's wet, it's so greasy, over its face. It wears this very haphazardly put together outfit of not properly tanned leather and almost still rotting animal hides and furs. It smells strange. It smells like rotting grass, and this giant beast emerges from the woods, drawn to your camp. The warmth, the light, maybe it's happenstance and it's just fallen upon, it's just come upon you, you don't know. 9 foot tall, 300 pounds, heavy set, heaving breasts, giant gut, this snarling monster lumbers into your camp. It stops for a moment. You think you're safe, hidden behind your little twig of a tree. And then its eyes turn slowly and lock on you. Alicia, can I please have a D20 for an insight check? So insight is trying to read somebody or something, trying to ascertain some deeper knowledge about its mental state, its thought process. A 19! Finally! Okay. This creature locks eyes with you. And there is something very unnatural about its stare. Something very unnatural indeed. It's a very good roll, Alicia. This is not a friendly creature. Just because you're proficient in history, religion, and arcana, you know what this beast did. It is an ogre. You know that they're prolific in these woods. You know they come out at night too, and you know that they are menacing, they are stupid. They can be reasoned with if you can use logic against them. They will understand your language. But you read this one's eyes, and despite knowing that this is a bad creature and an unfriendly at the best of times, there is something unnatural and almost dead behind its eyes. Something tells you that this creature, despite everything, will not be reasoned with. It is overcome with some kind of unnatural rage. And in that moment, you know that you have no choice but to fight this creature who hasn't given me a roll in a little while. Winnie, are you still here? If you're still here, can you please roll me a D20? We are going to enter initiative for the first time today against this ogre. So initiative is rolled a 16. Amazing. Let's have a look what our creature rolls. All right. Okay. With a 16 and with that insight check, knowing that this creature means to harm you, you have the jump. You have the jump on this creature. It has seen you. You were unsuccessfully able to hide, but you have the jump on this creature because it paused for a moment to suss you out, and you were able to suss it out quicker. It stands about 20 feet from you in a small clearing of trees. You can see it, the glow of the embers of your fire lighting up its bulking, heaving presence. At that distance, there is no point drawing your dagger. We are going to launch a spell. Chat, how would you like to initiate combat with this creature? You can type in exclamation point Synn if you would like to see, but I'm going to give you the options right here for what you would like to launch at this creature. Type, hold on, let me do it here. All right, we are going on the offensive. This thing has turned. You've seen it. It means to attack. It starts to move towards you. It takes 2 lumbering steps and you go to shoot something back at it. Type 1 to fire off a fireball cantrip. Type 2 to fire off a ray of frost cantrip. Type 3 to launch burning hands, which is a giant 5-foot cone. You have to wait for it to get 5 foot closer to you to do so. Scorching ray to launch 3 scorching rays of fire at this enemy. 5 to cast shatter to make the entire area around this beast vibrate with the power of like force and sound and cause it to disorientate and take damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. It is offensive spell time. We got a firebolt. We got a shatter. We got a firebolt. We got another firebolt. I will give you 10 more seconds. If anybody else is wishing to participate. We have a +6 to hit on the firebolt. That is what we are going to go with. Who was the first person to vote for firebolt? Winnie, you're up again. Can I please have a D20 to hit this monster? Has rolled a 5. This monster starts to make its way towards you, and as it does, you, still shaking off the last bits of sleep, you raise your quarterstaff and you go to shoot a firebolt at this creature. But you're just not fully awake yet. and the firebolt goes wide and hits a tree. The tree scorches and lights up with fire behind this tree, illuminating and casting this eerie, fiery, hot glow upon the whole area. You have missed. You have missed, and the beast is still closing its distance towards you. As it lumbers forward, you see in its hands is a shovel. Odd weapon of choice. It is a shovel, and it closes the distance and gets upon you, and it brings the shovel up and goes to whack you. I am going to roll. Everyone should have picked 5. Okay. I wish I had my hard dice to roll. I'm gonna roll to hit. With a 19, we have an armor class of 17. With a 19, this shovel comes down upon us and whoomp, crashes into the side of our half-plate armor, landing us in the shoulder, and we take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as this orc tumbles across us and whacks us with its blade, the blade of its shovel. Need to update that in places. All right, 31 hit points. How do we respond? It is now close. It is within our grasp. We have options. We have options. I will explain what your options are. It's hard to get all of this. All right, it is upon us. It is close. It is within 5 feet of us because it has just whacked us with the shovel. Hellish Rebuke is a reaction spell. You get 1 per day, Geeth. Would you like to use, hold on. We get Hellish Rebuke once a day. Would you like to use Hellish Rebuke now? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. Oh! Oh! Chat have spoken. Chat have spoken. All right, he needs to make a dexterity saving throw. Oh, Alicia's playing it safe. Looks like we're using Hellish Rebuke. Looks like we're using Hellish Rebuke. Okay, this guy needs to make a dexterity saving throw. He needs to make a 13. His modifiers are, to dexterity, -1. I'm gonna do this in chat. So you need, it's a -1. So you need him to roll less than a 13. So a 13 -1 still is 12, so 13 or lower. I'm glad I did that in chat, because I feel like you wouldn't have believed me if I did an actual roll. I am so sorry. But you are still... It hit you, okay? It hit you with the shovel in your sore shoulder from the day before when you lost the arm wrestling competition. You are reeling from it. It hits you, whack. You go to try and Hellish Rebuke it back. And again, you miss. How you miss, I don't know. Blame the hour of the morning. Blame the 6 shots the night before. Blame failing an arm wrestling competition. I don't know, but you're kind of sucking in this moment, and your Hellish Rebuke does not hit. I'm sorry. Oh, shit. Okay, it is still our turn. It is still our turn. It is still our turn. Let me explain what you're kind of sucking. It's okay. It's okay. Here are our options. Number 1, it's within range. We can still burning hands it. Number 2, we can try to wallop it with our quarterstaff. Number 3, shocking grasp. We can lay our hands on it and send electricity bolting through its body. 4, we do have a dagger. We could try to stab it. Let me explain 5. 5 is Zephyr Strike. This is a bonus action. It allows us to cast Zephyr Strike and then be able to move away and not provoke an opportunity attack. So we can, with Zephyr Strike, if that is your option, I'm just explaining it, this doesn't mean we should pick it. You have the opportunity to, as a bonus action, cast Zephyr Strike. You can then back up, and then you can use a distance spell. Yeah? So if you want to use Zephyr Strike, we can cast it to not get an attack of opportunity. We can back up, we can cast Shatter, Scorching Ray, Firebolt again, or Ray of Frost. Oh, you all want to back up? That's a smart call. That's a smart call. That is our second ranger spell. So we have Cure Wounds and we have Zephyr Strike. We got those from being a ranger. I thought they would make a good build for us. Okay, amazing. That's what we're doing. We are backing the fuck up. So we now have concentration on this, okay? This spell lasts a full minute. So as long as we maintain concentration, which means every time we get hit, we roll a d20 to get above 10 to maintain our concentration, we are able to move in and out of its range without provoking attacks of opportunity. And we have advantage on a weapon attack roll. So if it does come close, we can hit it with a quarterstaff or a dagger with advantage. This is really cool. Our attack also deals an extra d8 force damage upon a hit, right? So suddenly our quarterstaff and our dagger seem like good options if we get backed out into a corner. Yeah? Amazing. We also, our walking speed increases by 30 feet, so we can back up 60 feet if we need to. All right, backing up so fast, it's not even funny. All right, sequence of events. This thing charges. You shoot firebolt at it. You miss. You cause a tree to go alight behind it, illuminating the whole area. This guy comes in, whacks you with a shovel. You take 5 points of damage on your sore shoulder. You try to cast Hellish Rebuke back. It doesn't work. Then instead, you turn and you back up at least 30 feet. But you're no coward, right? You're no coward, right? I'll give you the option, but you're no coward, right? Now with that space, you have time and opportunity to attack. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You have Shatter. You have Scorching Ray. You have Firebolt again. You have Ray of Frost. Or all right, chat. 1 for Shatter, 2 for Scorching Ray, 3 for Firebolt, 4 for Ray of Frost, 5 to back up another 30 feet. So had you cast Zephyr Strike and stayed, you could have hit something with an extra 1d8 damage, so like your quarterstaff would have done extra damage. But we have chosen to back up in this instance. You can back up another 30 feet to have 60 feet from this creature. May give you, just think about the like how the other creature will move too. It will move in increments of, on average, 30 feet. Big AoE energy. Because you guys aren't cowards, right? We're gonna cast fucking Shatter. Alicia didn't vote for Shatter? It is all good. We are gonna cast Shatter on this motherfucking ogre. All right, he needs to make a Constitution saving throw of 14. I'm gonna roll this in chat again. He has Constitution. He does have a +3 to his Constitution. Please roll good. Well, you want me to roll bad, right? We need this to be less than 14. It has a +3. That is a 16. Holy shit balls. It saves. It saves. You don't know what is with you tonight. Is it these woods? Is there something crazy going on in these woods? Is it the strange circumstance that you find yourself in here on the side of the road? This ogre having disturbed your sleep? I mean, surely you are safe by the side of the road behind a boulder, right? What could go wrong? Just out in the open, you know, with a burning fire beside a boulder on the side of the road. Well, but somehow you found yourself here, and you go to cast Shatter, and this wave of forceful energy pulsates through your quarterstaff, down through the ground, and then just goes... And this ogre stands strong, and the force, it's like the force of your Shatter, is somehow a reflection of your confidence that is slowly diminishing during this battle, and it stands fast and it absorbs the very mediocre blow of this Shatter. But it does take half damage. Thank you, my friend. But it does take half damage. Okay, so we have to roll 3 d8s. Who were the last? Geith, Mans, and Winnie. Can you all please roll me an exclamation point D8? And we will halve the damage. We have an 8. We have a 2, so we have 10. Mans? Or Alicia, whoever's fastest. First 3 d8s win. 10, so we're taking at least 5 points of damage. And a 1! What is with these shitty rolls? Okay, so we're taking 5 points. The ogre is still taking 5 points of damage. It doesn't like this at all. It roars, and its roar is unlike any noise you've ever really heard before. Imagine a deep guttural monster roar with like shattering glass, like as if there were a glass plate in its throat that were being shattered. What is that? What is that? That is weird, right? But you don't have a moment to compose yourself, because as it absorbs this shatter, it roars and it rushes towards you, shovel in hand, and it closes the 30 feet distance, and it rolls to hit you. Oh my god, you guys. And with an 18, you have an AC of 17. This fucking shovel comes and it tries to whack you in your other shoulder. No! How much damage will it do? 6 points of bludgeoning damage in your other shoulder. Luckily, you've got that nice half-plate armor on, right? Fuck. We're okay. We've got 25 of 36 HP. We're okay. It is now our turn. Oh wait, it's supposed to be a D8? D10. Oh, okay, we'll use Alicia's roll. It's only fair. So 10, 14, it now takes 7 points of damage. Let's give it 2 more damage. I'm gonna be fair. Okay. It is our turn again. Oh, Constitution saving throw. Constitution saving throw. Who picked it out? Okay, never mind. Yay. Geethman, can I have a D20 to see if we maintain our Zephyr strike? If we do, we have the option of running back another 30 to 60 feet. Rolls a 14, we are safe. We are safe, we have our Zephyr strike. What would you like to do? Okay? You have options. We can back up 30 feet, right? We can back up 60 feet. We can use Shocking Grasp because we're right here. We can use our quarterstaff, right? So our quarterstaff has advantage and gets a +8, all right? Or we can pull, we still haven't drawn our dagger yet. We can pull our dagger, but it does less damage. But I will give you the option. You know what? I'll give you Burning Hands because that's within 5 feet as well. These are our options. Chat decides. This ogre is bearing down upon you. Do you back up 30 feet? Do you back up full 60 feet? Now, if you back up 30 or 60 feet, I will give you more options for spells. You can do Shocking Grasp because you have to physically touch it to shoot an electric bolt of lightning through its body. You can hit it with the quarterstaff. You get advantage on the hit and you get to roll an additional D8. Or you can cast Burning Hands, a 15-foot cone of fire. Right, one to back up 60 feet, one to hit him with the quarterstaff. And once you get the mechanics of the battle and our options, we'll be able to like know what all of this means very quickly because I'm still learning what all the different options and everything are. Mans wants to back up as well. Winnie, I'll give you a few more seconds to vote. Two, we're backing up. We're backing up. Okay, so it runs in, ka-tunk, hits you in the other shoulder. With the strength you have remaining in you, you somehow, with this power of the Zephyr strike, you sprint 60 feet backwards, turn and face your enemy. You are now on the opposite side of the road. You can see this giant orcish figure. Its black silhouette against a very small forest fire that you have started behind it. At this stage, nothing crazily out of control, just a tree or two, and maybe the bush, the occasional bush, kind of on fire. But but nothing too bad. Having backed up 60 feet, what do you want to do? Again, normal options. Firebolt, Ray of Frost, or Frist, whatever. Scorching Ray. You can try for Shatter again. Scorching Ray. Burning Hands, it's too far. You know what? Now that you've backed up 60 feet, you've shaken your own grogginess off, you can attempt to put it to sleep. What about Blur? Okay, hold on, I'll give you Blur. Call it a night, some really fun. No worries. I hope you've enjoyed your first foray into into a little bit of what D&D's like. Thank you so much for being here, Winnie. These are our options. Backed up 60 feet, we can cast a firebolt. We can cast a ray of frost, not frist. We can cast our 3 rays of scorching fire at it. We can try for shatter again. We could try to put it to sleep. Won't do any damage, but we might put it to sleep. We can cast blur on ourselves, which will give it disadvantage when striking us, which it has been doing. You've enjoyed it big time. You'll be back next time for sure. Yay! Well, we'll do this. We're going to do this every Saturday for the next little while. All right. 2 for Scorching Ray. 1 for Shatter. Here we go. Scorching Ray it is. Scorching Ray, we get to roll to hit. Who hasn't rolled in a minute? I don't know. Mans, you were the first to vote. 3. Can I have a D20 to hit with Scorching Ray? We have a +6 to add to whatever you roll. 19, 25, let's go. All 3 of your fucking rays of fire hit this orc from 60 feet away. What a great maneuver. Now we get to roll for damage. Each ray does 2d6 worth of damage. So Mans, can I have 2d6s? We'll calculate them all individually. Oh no, as in like you'll have to d6 twice in chat. I'm not that good at setting them up. Just 1 exclamation point d6 and a second exclamation point d6. Geeth, can I have 2 d6s from you? So an exclamation point d6, exclamation point d6. Alicia, can I get 2 d6s from you, babes? Exclamation point d6, exclamation point d6. The combined total of what you all roll will be the damage that you do to this ogre. Oh, full damage from Geeth. That's a 12. Mans has a 7, so we're already at 19. Alicia, a 1. That's okay. Another 1 to come. That's still 20 points of fucking damage. 1 more from Alicia. I'm telling you, there's a very real opportunity. You could end this fight right now. Alicia, 1 more d6. We're on the edge of our seats. That's 20 points of damage right now. There's 20 points of damage right now. Just keeping us all on the edge of our seat. No! Exclamation point d6. You got it. You got it. That one didn't work because there was a little space in between. The suspense, Alicia! No, it was just there's a little, see the little space in between the D and the 6? A 4! This monster that had you doubting your abilities as a fighter, as a warrior, as a wizard and a hero, takes its final step towards you. And you blast these 3 perfect, straight as an arrow bolts of pure fire energy this once powerful, menacing creature burns up in flames with such strength and magnitude that it instantly turns into cinders in front of you. Congratulations. I can't believe you did that. It had exactly 24 HP left. And that Scorching Ray did exactly 24 points of fire damage. You guys, that was incredible. Amazing. That ogre is a chunk of smoldering flesh now, with a fire that's just lightly ablaze behind it. Just lightly ablaze behind it. You take a moment and you steady yourself, your arms aching, but thank God for that plate armor that hasn't even been dented, but you just feel the reverberation of that through your body. You're a little bit banged up. You don't have to worry about it though. You're not on death's door. And you just take a deep breath and breathe in the cool, crisp, early morning air. You look to the sky. Becky's safe above you. The very first of the morning's rays beginning to cling to the very edges and put a beautiful, dark blue tinge upon the horizon. And holy shit, that felt like a close one. Probably never gonna make camp behind a boulder again, that's for sure. Huh? Maybe next time we'll try to find somewhere off the beaten path, a little bit more secluded in the forest. Or if the opportunity comes to hide, maybe we'll just take that extra moment to find somewhere a bit more, appropriate to hide ourselves. That was great. That was good. Gosh, you guys had me worried. Them some rolls, people. Holy shit. But you bested it. You did it. Whew. That was intense. That was a rough one. Okay. Whew. What are we doing now? Huh? Now. What's, we got to head on out. There's no going back to rest. We got enough rest. What are we doing now? Are we gonna inspect this ogre's body? We'll see what it's got on it. Do we have time to do that though? Could there be more enemies? Maybe we should tell Becky to scout for some more enemies, huh? Yeah? Are we safe? Was that the only one? That was a very bizarre attack. Usually ogres can be reasoned with to an extent. They're at least receptive to hearing. Sometimes they're pretty dim-witted, but with a 19 insight check, you could tell off the bat that your time would have been wasted trying to reason with this creature. It had nothing but rage and murder in its eyes. Type 3 to prioritize healing up in this moment that you've got. Should we tend to our wounds while we have a moment? Yeah? 1 vote for inspect the body for loot. What else we got? Oh, I think Manza's laptop's just died. Nope, he's here. All right. Inspect the ogre's body for loot. Oh, I'm sorry, Alicia. Outvoted again. Okay, hopefully the more we play, the more we'll get people to participate, and we'll get some more spicy voting. But I appreciate and respect the poll. We are going to inspect that ogre's body for loot. Geeth, can I please get a D20 inspection check, please? Investigation check, even. You know the one. Rolled a natural 20. You rolled a natural 20. Okay. I'll tell you what you get with that. I'll tell you what you get. So, you take a moment just for the final few flames on this ogre's charred corpse to go out so it's not hot to the touch. And you get down and you start to rummage through the remains of this ogre. It was a female ogre. You start digging through the various layers of her clothing. So although her flesh has been singed, you can see that her eyeballs are empty sockets of where fleshy juicy eyes used to be. You start rummaging and you find that she does have deep pockets. And you find some really interesting things there. So obviously there's a shovel. You don't know if you want to keep the shovel, but this had a shovel. It was made of metal. Could be reused. It survived the fire, although is now blackened with soot. And, like blood and burnt flesh. You dig your hand deep into her pocket and you feel something a little hard, feels crunchy. That's weird. And there's a couple of them, and they feel about the size. I mean, this is a 9-foot orc, so they feel kind of big in your hand, and you pull the first one out, and it's is that a burnt cabbage? What? That's weird. Put that to the side. You reach in again, another big, round, kind of hard, crunchy ball. You pull that out. Another kind of burnt cabbage. What? That's weird. That smell, that kind of grassy, vegetable-y smell just smells like, just imagine the smell of like burnt lettuce. That's what this ogre smells like. Yeah, and you're pulling, it's like there was like a sack of cabbages on her. What? That's weird. No worries, Guy. Thank you so much for joining. That's really weird. As you're investigating, though, you are rummaging around for loot. She has weird, like, there's like roots, like plant roots that look like they've been a little bit gnawed on. There are these cabbages. A bite's been taken one of them. Why would an ogre eat a cabbage? That's really fucking strange. You're going to clock that. But that's not the weirdest thing you find about this ogre. There's something, is that something growing? There's something growing where her eyes used to be? It's kind of gross. But with a 20 investigation check, you're compelled to investigate her eyeball sockets, and you dig your thumbs, squish, into the sockets of her eyes where her eyes have been burnt out, and you peel it open and you look inside, and tiny little what look to be shards of blue glass have been growing inside her skull. You've never seen anything like it before. It's really weird. Could this account for why they were so angry? Were they in pain? Were they compelled? Something isn't right about this creature. Not the fact that they were eating vegetables. Which in of itself for an ogre is very, very bizarre. Because as we know, ogres have a penchant for halfling and elven flesh. They're its favorite meals. But this one's been eating vegetables, And on top of that, it has weird crystallite shards growing inside its head. What does it mean? Well, you'll have to wait for next week to find out. You'll have to wait till next week, my friends, to find out. I hope you all enjoyed that. That was really fun to run. Thank you to everybody who lurked. If you're just watching for the story, I hope you enjoyed yourself. Please feel free to participate next time. Thank you to Alicia, Geeth, Mans, and Winnie for keeping the story alive. I hope you like the direction of the story. I hope you like the choices that you made that led us here. Yeah, it's fun having to improvise based on the choices that you make. That's why I was so nervous. I was like, am I going to be able to do justice to their decisions? Am I going to give them fun choices to be able to take the story in different directions? Am I going to be able to give them multiple opportunities to get a few things like that? Like that scroll really would have been nice. But I got to honor the die, and you ain't getting that scroll. That scroll may have been helpful. Just saying. And I wasn't sure about combat either, but that was really fun. That was actually really fun. I'm gonna have a few I'll have like close range, far away range combat, I think, already set up good to go, and then we can just tweak. But how did you guys find? You loved it? It's been fun? It's been awesome? Good. How did you find the pacing? Was the pacing okay? Sometimes it just takes a minute to type if I haven't pre-thought out some of the decisions. So I hope that didn't make us lag too much. And I'm sorry about the commercials. Fucking ad breaks. Can't do anything about those. But I think we managed them all right too. It was all good? Good. I'm so glad. And it will get better in time, especially when we figure out these mechanics. Thank you so much, everybody. I've had a great time. Please join us same time next week to continue the story. I'm so excited. Yeah, what's going on? What's going on with this weird orc? Ogre. Huh? Something not quite right about her. We'll figure out. A bit of lag. Yeah. I'll keep the polls up for like a little bit longer. And no rush on having to roll those D20s and stuff. We wait. I'm cool with waiting. I just want to make sure you guys are happy. There is an ad that's starting in 30 seconds. I am going to find somebody to raid out to. But thank you everybody for joining me today and making this a great episode 1. I hope you all had fun. I appreciate you all. Have a victory drink on me. Shots! 6 shots for everybody. All right, love your faces, everybody. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend. I will see you next week for episode 2, and enjoy the rest of your days. As always, take care of yourself, take care of each other. I'm going to go to the ending stream, but we will raid out to somebody. Not sure who yet. Bye, you guys. Nuggies for man sets. Let's go. Bye.